I have with me here Mr. Buama Echampong, who is one of the organizers of the picnic, the annual Ghana picnic in Columbus, Ohio, and now the Ghana pick. And we're going to be talking to Mr. Buama. Mr. Buama, how's it going today?
Fine, it's been a long day, but I can tell you it's been fun and it's been a success. Look at the sky, you can see that it's a blessing. No rain, and still the sky is bright.
Well, I heard it was supposed to rain today.
Yeah, it was supposed to rain, but when you have your trust in God and you pray and you wish for the best, it happens that way. So we thank the Almighty God for this special day and to the community. Well, if even it rained, we will still have been in it and enjoy the day.
It will be fun anyways, huh? That's beautiful. So, Mr. Buama, let's talk a little about the Ghana pick. How far have we come? What's actually the general concept of the picnic?
Well, basically, we feel that wherever 2 or 3 people are gathered, just like the Bible says, God is with us. And so when we've come here as a community, the spirit of wellness is what we yearn for. And how does the spirit of wellness come from? When you can help one another, when you can enjoy one another, that is when you feel that the spirit of wellness is within you. You can't live alone. So the picnic is just a day where we come to celebrate the goodness of God in our lives. And when we come here, it's not just that day. It's that once we've come together, we take it out into the community. When you meet a friend here or you meet someone you've not met for a long time, you feel some pride in you. You feel that at least you're a Ghanaian. Sometimes it's so lonely to stay in your home, go to work and come home, and you don't even see anything. So the spirit of the picnic essentially is togetherness, coming together and helping one another.
That's beautiful. I remember that I said it when it was time for the gathering or the coming in of the chiefs and the people. I'm like, there is no moment when I am ever proud to be a Ghanaian than that moment when our culture is being displayed. It's so beautiful. Now let's still talk about the picnic, Mr. Buama. The transition. I know there's been transitions. I mean, when I was listening, I knew we were going to cover this show. I tried to do some background search on this, and I hear this is the 14th edition.
Yeah,
I know we've been going through transitions and things have been happening. Are there any challenges, and how far have we come?
In life, there always has to be challenges, and you have to always aspire to grow. And when you are aspiring to grow, there are going to be hurdles up and down. And the picnic has gone through its challenges. But I personally believe that life should not be on a level plane. Life should climb up the ladder. Because when you're on a level plane, you're always stuck. So the challenges are what I wish to face. And so, for example, when I joined the picnic back in 2004, we started writing things down and putting things on paper and making sure that what we organize, you can look back and say, this is where we've been. So some of the challenges are what makes us better. For example, as at now, we've brought the associations and the churches and our chiefs together. You know, some people have a myopic conception that, for example, chiefs cannot be part of a church structure, or associations cannot be part of the Christian structure. But that is never true. In life, in fact, people who go to church matter for the community. If there is a church in this community that doesn't help the community, I don't think that is what Christ taught us. So at the end of it all, we try to aspire to higher levels, and in going through those higher levels, then we become better people.
I'm glad you brought up the issue of the associations and the chiefs, because I know every association or almost every chief is linked to an association, and almost every association has its members from the churches. So when I heard that this is under the organization or the umbrella of the Ghanaian Church Community of Columbus, Ohio?
Of churches. Yeah, this picnic is more like a collaboration.
Okay.
So it's a collaboration of the Council of Churches, the Council of Associations, and people, individuals. For example, I come in not necessarily because I belong to an association, but I come in because I feel that God has blessed us with the gift to help make things better. So wherever I go, if I can help make things better, I do it.
Mr. Buama, I'm going to say this. The associations have a way of, or the core purpose of every association is for the betterment of the members, right? And the members are Ghanaians. And I believe that as much as we are trying to be better over here, yeah, I mean, we call this place Abrochi, which is a far away land from where we come. So, I mean, as much as we look for the betterment of people of these associations in Abrochi, far away land, are we also looking back at families, friends, people that with the community? I mean, the fiber, the core fiber of the community back home.
Certainly. In fact, when the picnic's name was initially changed from Ghana Picnic or Ghana Family Picnic to One Goal Family Picnic, it was for that reason, because we realized that we are not here just as a community. We are not an isolated community. We live in Columbus, and Columbus has several other people over here. Likewise, we came from Ghana, and so we have to always be looking back at the country we came from. And for that reason, one of the things that I think we need even to do, recently when there was a catastrophic fire and flood in Ghana, in fact, I took the initiative to go to some of our churches to try to organize and raise funds to go and help. I also reached out to the associations. We haven't been able to send the money down, but it's something which people are heeding to, and it's not too late for us to go and help back home. So in all of these things, you can only live well in a place where others around you are living well. If, for example, I'm happy in this country and my brother in Ghana is not happy, at the end of the day, when something bad happens there, we feel the pinch. Or we as a people don't feel proud that we are Ghanaians. So when our country is doing better, or wherever we live is doing better, then we can say we are living a good life.
Mr. Boima, you mentioned the flood and the fire outbreak back home. That was somewhere in June, and it was pathetic. But you see, that is an event that just happened. There is, I'm not going to call it an event. There's an occurrence. There's a lifestyle in Ghana now that is called Dumso. So let's talk about a little about Dumso, because you and I know there's no way two Ghanaians will meet, two or more Ghanaians will meet and not talk about Dumso. I mean, you as a person, okay? Let me take your pick on Dumso, and then I will ask you, the associations and this very Ghana Picnic, or Ghana organizing committee. What do you take? What's your take on the Dumso, and what are you people doing as far as suggestions and contributions towards ending that epidemic? It's an epidemic. That's what I call it.
Well, certainly you can call it an epidemic, but it's what I would say simply, it's a broken down system, or something we have failed to do as a country, as a nation. In particular, Dumso is not the only big issue in Ghana. In fact, drinking water is the biggest issue. It's come to a point where most people in Ghana feel that their drinking water should be their own matter. They build a house, they dig a well, or they just rely on buying bottled water. For example, when I go to Ghana right now, I don't drink the normal water, I buy just bottled water. But the government as a whole, or the community as a whole, should start some sort of an advocacy where certain things, public utilities, for example, water, electricity, and roads, are things which have make a system works, a country works. So like in this country, yesterday, for example, I was doing some jogging around the school, and I heard them say, oh, they shouldn't use the bathrooms because the water has stopped. And you know what? They said the water has stopped for 10 minutes. And that within that 10 minutes, the water is being shut down for a repair, so people shouldn't go to the bathroom. Within 5 minutes, they called back and said, the water is back on, so you can go back and use the bathroom. We live in a country where right now, when things go bad, we just sit down and laugh over it. We've been nicknaming it Dumso, and it's almost like we are not putting our passion where it needs to be. If we have to start an advocacy that this is a really serious matter. Ghanaians have a way of making things light. We laugh over things, smile over it, and then let it go. But this is the time when we have to sit back and think about what can we do as a nation. We come here for the picnic, that is good, because it brings us together. But when you are able to bring a people together, that is when you now have to sit down and ask yourself, what can we do to help us improve to the next stage? So look at this big gathering. If all Ghanaians here have one single mind that we should be able to eradicate, let's say, salt water issue in our country, and we start an advocacy, or the Doomsaw issue, we start an advocacy, we must then build on it gradually so that every government that comes knows that this is something important to the nation. Because sometimes a government might forget that, oh, these people are all satisfied and we don't have to do anything. So it's something which the nation as a whole, we can blame the government, we can blame each other, we can laugh over it, but at the end of the day, I and you have to think about it from a very serious perspective. It has to involve the churches. And I would say that it has to involve the associations. Pastors have to preach about it with a passion that we have to go back and help our country, or we have to have an impact on the nation as a whole and call this a big issue so that we can resolve it. Either than that, it's going to be the same old story. Another government will come, they will just do what they call a band-aid. Band-aid are not enough for a system to work. Look at this country. I know they've gone through issues, they have their own issues, but certain things do really work. When it snows, look at how they are able to clean the streets. So challenges are there, but we have to realize that as a nation, we have to be ready and prepared. Through our education, we have to implement it and help our nation grow. That is the way I see things.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aboama Echampong, for talking to us on TV Africa Network. We thank you very much for being a part of the show. And on behalf of the people of Ghana, as Ghanaian as I am, I'm very happy to be a part. I'm not only here on my show, I'm also here as having fun, coming to a Ghanaian picnic and feeling that I belong somewhere. And I give you kudos. Give me a high five for that. Give me a high five. Give me a high five.
This has been excellent, and I want to promise you that TVAN, this is a beginning which we all have to come together to support. And so I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak on TVAN. And it's my prayer that this station in the years ahead will grow from up into the sky.
Thank you very much.
All over. Thank you too.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aboama, for taking care